Here are 7 super easy tips that I don't see anyone talking about. Imagine that by doing some simple, quick things, you'll make videos so addictive that people can't click off. Number 1 is to listen to comedians or people who are funny, because then you will be funnier. Comedians just see life differently, don't they? As they go about their ordinary, boring days, just like us. They get good at seeing the funny side of life. My favourite comedians are Jerry Seinfeld, Kevin Hart, Ricky Gervais and Eddie Murphy. And some funny actors are Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Lawrence and John Krasinski. And I'm not just talking about their screen performances. Look out for podcasts or any interviews that they do, because it's here that you can really see that they really do have an adjusted way of seeing life. They just live in a different headspace to the rest of us. And by exposing ourselves to that kind of content, that will just help us see the funny side of life more often, and actually, generally, we will just have more fun in life. Number 2 is something that you can do from the comfort of your couch. This tip is about playing with the gadgets that you use to make your videos while you're watching TV. Knowing how to use your gear, your phone camera, your light, your tripod, external mic if you use one, will help you make videos faster, edit them faster, and upload more often. I hate the 5,000 settings on my vlogging camera, but it only hurt me one day on filming day when, after I pressed record, instead of pressing background defocus, I pressed the slow-mo. So yeah, do as I say, not as I did, is the best advice I can give you today. Or go into the camera settings on your phone and deciding if you actually really want to use the mirror front camera option. I still haven't decided if mirror front camera, which apparently is the way that the world sees you, so is supposed to look consistent with the way you look, but I know that I'm a little bit creeped out by seeing the mirror image or the real image, whatever it is beyond me technologically. I tend to use the mirror front camera because lots of people are saying to do it, and it just, I think, is a better quality of camera, I think. Anyway, but this is the kind of thing that when you're just watching some TV, just play with your gear, have a bit of a look, all of that, it'll just really, really come to fruition for you in a good way on filming day. The faster you can film, the faster you can get to edit, and the faster you can get to upload. So welcome to guilt-free TV watching. If you do a few minutes of this every day, you'll level up your skills. I mean, there's enough going on, isn't there, when you're setting up to film and you're filming. By getting some of the friction out of the way before filming day, that'll actually let you concentrate on the whole reason why you're making YouTube videos, which is to make awesome content, which is helping people solve problems. Yeah, don't get bogged down by the dreariness of making YouTube videos. Don't get stuck in the mud on filming time. The more prepared you are, the more you know your gear before you film. Right, so this next one is so easy to do as you go about your day. Tip number 3 is to film 10 seconds of B-roll every single day, or take a photo during your day. The B-roll can be of you going about your day, having a cup of tea, walking to work, waiting at the train station or the bus stop, you actually working at your computer, you could be editing videos, put your phone up against the wall, show us your working from home footwear, or get up nice and high and film looking down on something. Here's a pro tip. We are so used to taking photos at adult head height. So it goes photo, 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 video, video, video. What we don't always see is photos and videos taken from a really low aspect or taken from high. The advantage of taking from low, well, let's go low, ground. We love that. People love novelty. Our eyes love novelty. And if you take images like that, they will be so welcomed. Your content will have a real freshness about it. If you take videos from, let's say, knee height, or even hip height, that will give you a child's perspective. And when we see photos and videos taken from different heights or different perspectives, we just love it. We think that they are already, that photo has just leapt up markedly in the quality. Be sure to save these in a folder in your Photos app, or at least hit favorite afterwards so you can go back and search for it and just do a big dump off into the folder, which realistically is more what I tend to do. Even though I would love to take a photo and faff around, the reality is life, right? Is that realistic all the time? Not really. This takes us to my fourth powerful habit that is so simple and easy to do, and that is to collect juicy words, phrases, analogies, photos. Just take screenshots or jot them down in your notes whenever you see them. I tend, if I'm looking on my phone and see something that I really like, I tend to just take a screenshot and then I'll go back later and save it into a notes note, whatever you call those things, like a new note. But you need to tell yourself to look out for these things. Tell your brain to look out for them and you'll see them all the time. This makes for a incredible treasure chest of a resource for you to dip into. I know I love it when I hear an original word, a unique word, a new word, a word that I've never heard quite in that context before. It just delights me. I just like that content creator that much more. It's an over-deliver. You know, they haven't gone and said, watch my video and you'll hear 3 incredible, juicy ways to describe something that you will go on to use these one day, you know, and thank me later. It's an under-promise and it's an over-deliver when I watch a piece of content and they're not just hashing out the same old turns of phrases. We all know what those words are. I'm not even going to say them because you'll click off this video, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's just the overused phrases and expressions. Like, we want to avoid those. Here's an example of an overused expression. We want to avoid those like the plague. I don't know about you, but I get like a little bit of ear hurt when I hear these expressions. And I actually get a bit judgy, and I think that that's a little bit lazy. I'm just saying, that's not you, that's not me. We can't avoid it because our head is just so full of so many things. But the more originality and uniqueness that we look out for, and really, really vital here, guys, you have to capture it. If you don't capture it, then it's just very fleeting. It comes and goes. Words are hard enough to recall at the best of times these days. I don't know about you. Do you love original words and unique ways of describing things? Because we love novelty. Speaking of novelty, tip number 5 is to learn a 1-minute video editing trick or hack. And the reason we want to learn these 1-minute video hacks is because 2 things. The first thing is that by only being a 1-minute video trick, that tells us that it is a simple thing to learn. The things that you will use the most are the simple things. The things that are 10 minutes and 15 minutes and 20 minutes, I think we shelve those for later because, I don't know, are they just like retention video hacks or something? The more you learn before the day you come to editing, you can actually just spend that time on the editing rather than getting frustrated. Well, actually, editing can be a bit frustrating at the best of times anyway. And we're not talking about the evil retention editing tricks. We're just talking about editing that will help you to get your videos out stronger, faster. Oh my God, what's happening with my lighting? Oh wow, something is really interesting happening back there. That's not good. Okay, some funky things are happening with my lighting and it just is full stop. While we're on the topic of editing, you will wonder, how am I going? How much of my video are people watching? Are they clicking off? When are they clicking off? Tip number 6 is controversial. So you've made your first few videos, you've seen your views, you've seen your likes, you've seen some subs. The tip is to not look at your analytics during your first 20 videos because this is one of the biggest reasons that people give up making videos. And how are you going to go from bad to good to great to incredible videos? Everyone, when they start making videos, are making beginner level videos. Think about a baby. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby stands up, the baby can let go of whatever it is that's been holding the baby up. They take a step forward, what happens? They fall down, they cry. What do they do then? Do they give up? No, they don't. They stand back up and they give it another go. Have you ever said to a baby, you know what? I'm just not sure if this walking thing is for you, because you've actually tried about 55 times now, and little Frankie across the road, he started walking after 35 times. So yeah, we thought that you were going to be a walker. Hey, we did. But actually, we now just think you're a sitter. So yeah, you just sit down, and we'll just bring you a tablet, okay? Just, yeah, sit down. Or, Holly, we've looked at your analytics, and yeah, they could be better. They're not very encouraging. This last quarter, yeah, we've seen you put the effort in, but we just don't think it's going to work. I don't think you're going to make it as a walker. You know, the time will come for you to pore over your analytics, see all the lovely click-offs, the yada and the yada. In the beginning, you need to make lots of videos and get to 20 videos. That's what you need to do. Do what you need to do to keep making videos, essentially. Which leads me to tip number 7, which will act like a juice cleanse to supercharge your channel. And that is to stop holding on so tightly, just let go from all the gear that you use to normally make your videos, and simply making a video with you just talking to the camera. I like to use the analogy about your shoulders just dropping and taking a breath. The reason why I thought of it in this way is that sometimes when I'm, for example, editing videos, I will just get more and more hunched up until I'm quite scrunched up and my shoulders are up around my ears, and I'm really just squinting at the screen and just doing all of that best advice stuff for working at your computer for long periods of time, just continually squinting. And then for some reason, I just become suddenly super aware that I'm sitting like that. I don't know what triggers it, but I then just let my shoulders drop. I might take a bit of a breath. I might have a bit of a look around. Like, did anyone just see me looking like that? Letting go so that you can make a really raw, natural, go with the flow kind of video without having to set up your gear. Making a video like this will be a big novelty for your audience, and the types of videos that do particularly well using this kind of format is sharing your thoughts about a commonly held belief in your niche, or providing an update potentially about how your channel is going, just a bit of an overview that you don't normally touch on, just quite a raw kind of one-on-one type of conversation, just kind of a bit of a speaking from the heart. And then at the end of it, you can do super light editing. I wouldn't say do no editing. While a lot of people love to say, I'm going to do no editing at all in this video, that's a big call. That's a big call. It's because if you have a lot of dead air in your video, then that's not really good for anyone. Your audience will love this because they'll recognize it as something a little bit different. And it feels a little bit behind the scenes too, because you're not super neat and tidy and organized. So it's got quite a spontaneous feel about it. The other thing that this style of video is brilliant for is just setting your phone or your camera up on a tripod and going about working in whatever your passion is or whatever your niche is. And at the end of it, just doing a voiceover. I've seen this so many times, and I think it is absolutely fantastic and a great idea that any of us can incorporate and just really mixes up the style of video. Which of these tips are your favorite? And what's a tip of yours that you use to just keep going?